So welcome back to another episode of Wheels and Toys, and today we're going to continue discussing the 718 Spyder. But we're not going to talk about the exhaust system or any power upgrades that you can do or the gearbox or anything like that. Today is all about aerodynamics. As it is an open top car, you do get a lot of wind buffeting, and you also get a lot of sort of turbulence into the cabin when you're driving in speed with the roof down. So I'll show you a little bit how that actually works today. And the hair is, it's more or less, it's everywhere. It's chaos. Also going to talk about a little bit of the modes you can actually play around with the windows to get less wind buffeting in the cabin when driving these cars. And I'll also show you a little bit like tips and tricks on how you can lower the wind buffeting or the turbulence in the car when you are driving. And I think Porsche have missed a couple of things when they designed this car, but I can't blame them. It is a low series production car, and it is built around the Boxster and the GT4. So a couple of the things could be designed differently, I think, and some manufacturers have actually produced a couple of parts. So we are going to first drive the car as it is today, and then we're going to see if AWE has fixed part of the aerodynamics with their airfoilers. So tiny little bit of plastic like this, and it goes on the side of the windows to run the air around the car. So let me show you. So this is the piece that we're talking about. It sits right here by the mirror, and when the air comes by the side of the car and passes here, it goes actually into the car straight in. And so if you look at it, it's just like super flat. And there's like, let's see if we can get some focus here. There's nothing. It's just like completely flat. But what AW has done is made this part here. It sits like that. So I don't know if you can see, but it actually has a curvature to it. So it goes out. So the thought is that that replaces that part. So when the door is closed, that actually sits here and pushes the air outwards. So that's the idea. These little plastic parts from AWE will go onto the car and help channel the air around the cockpit. So you can get these ones and they'll fit the 991 generation of the 911s. They'll also fit the 981 generation of the Cayman and Boxsters, as well as the 718 of the Cayman and Boxsters as well. So if you have the coupes, they will help a lot with wind buffeting if you have the windows down. I know so because my brother ran them on his 911, but they should also work quite well with if you have one of the cabriolets or the open top cars as this one. But to be able to see if they actually make a difference, we first need to run the car without them. But to be able to do so, you need to see the changes of it. We need someone with long hair. I didn't manage to find a friend who had very long hair that wanted to help out with this. So to do so instead, I came up with this. I'm going to run the car wearing this ridiculous wig. It makes me look a little bit like the Swedish pianist Robert Wells or someone from a rock band, but it should help you see how this car behaves with the roofs or with the windows up, with the windows down, and with the airfoilers installed or not. So before we install them, let's hit the roads and see what happens with my new beautiful hair. Okay, so to be able to demonstrate this, I've got this amazing wig. It kind of helps to show you where the wind is actually going. So right now we're doing both windows up, and we haven't really mounted any of the things yet. And as you can see, the hair is blowing. I'm just doing 65 kilometers per hour and not going very, very fast. But soon we're just gonna turn around and we're gonna go a little bit faster, and we'll see how that actually goes. All the windows open, and as you can see, their hair is flowing a little bit. It's not really, it's a little bit disturbing, I wouldn't really see myself maybe getting as long hair as this. But if we then do both windows down, and this I guess is where it becomes really messy. The hair is, yeah, it's more or less, it's everywhere. It's chaos. But then we come to one of the things with this car is, if you go one window up, so I'm doing the right window up right now. You see? So something with the turbulence of this car means that if you have the left window down and the right window up, the turbulence on the driver's side is more or less nothing. So I can easily enjoy this car with long hair and no turbulence while driving. Of course, the same means if you have a passenger with long hair and maybe you don't have any hair, or not long hair at least, you still want to enjoy some more sort of exhaust notes, you can do the other way around. So take up your window, take down the other window, more noise, a little bit more wind, a lot more wind for you, a lot less wind for the passenger. So if we do both windows up again, it becomes a little bit more turbulence in the middle. And of course, if you do the roof up in this, you get some buffeting, but you don't get anything else. So there's no disturbing things with that. But let's see what happens when we mount the airfoilers. Let's mount these ones. It's a very easy job, actually, to be said. The thing you need to do is, or the thing you need to have is a plastic tool like this, like a prying tool, and a Torx. I think this is a Torx 20. It a little bit depends on what car you have. So I think the Torx 20 is gonna fit my car. Might be so that you need to have a Torx 30 or 10. It a little bit depends on your car model, but you get an installation guide with these from AWE. So just have a look at that one and it will tell you what tools you need. So if you get if you have a later model or an earlier year model, they will be a little bit different how you mount these ones. But for me, it's kind of easy. So how you do is you actually take the prying tool. And the reason why you have one of these and not like something else is that you come very close to the leather here. So you take that one, push it in underneath this one. So you can actually wiggle it a little bit and get the prying tool underneath, and it pops up like that. And then pull it a little bit backwards, I think you can see, and upwards, and it comes loose. So first you have a little hook down here, and then it's a hook inside that actually can sort of get it like that. I don't know if you can see it has this hook as well. It almost looks like it's broken, but it's not. It's just like there's two hooks, and you get it off like that. Then you take your Torx 20, I think, and just loosen. There's one bolt here, so you can't really go wrong. Make sure you don't drop it into the door, I guess. Take that one, and now this one actually just sits on. It just sits on the outside. It should pop right up, just like that, and that's the way you get. So this is the OEM Porsche one, and this is the AWE one. When it comes to material, the thickness of the OEM version is a lot thicker than this little thing here, but it should do the same job in terms of being aerodynamic. But I mean, this should do a better job, but still. So mounts the same way, you can see it here. So we're just gonna do the same thing and mount it on the car. So just come around to this side, basically do this, because you do need to see this little tab here that goes into it. So see if we can do this on the first run. Just like goes straight like that. Quite an easy fit. Then we come back here, take the Torx and just tighten it. Not too tight, AWE says. Take the little plastic piece, put the hook back in, and then the other hook like that. There's a little tab up here as well. You can see that. It's quite easy. Put it over that tab and it should go straight into, yeah, just like that. Goes down. Make sure you don't squeeze as I did here. This little plastic piece, and it goes straight back onto the car like that. So let's do the other side as well and then hit the roads. Both sides are now down, so let's put the wig back on and see if there are any difference or big enough difference to get noticed with the wig on. So we do now have the AWE airfoilers installed. Haven't really had a real full run with them installed yet, so we just pulled out of the parking lot where we did install. Still can feel some wind buffeting now, having the both windows up. So we're just gonna turn around up here and then we're gonna see how it goes when we can have a little bit of space on the roads out here. I am not sure if it's gonna work as good as some people have said. I'm not sure it's gonna do as much difference on the Spyder maybe, because I also feel that the Spyder are less good at doing this than the Boxsters and the Caymans from stock. So we're now turning around. Let's see. So both windows up. Let's see if we can get some speed. Okay, this is here we are around 70 kilometers per hour. Not much, can't really tell if there's a difference. Still have a little bit of the wind blowing here. So let's do both windows down and see what happens. Yeah, I wouldn't say it made a lot of a difference. There's still plenty of air. So let's do the passenger side. Here we go. So that's the passenger side up. And as we talked about, that's a really good hack. It really makes the car very drivable. It's open here, no wind. I can actually tell a little bit of a difference. It's not really hitting my ear because you do get a little bit of a buffeting, or sort of as you get the wind sort of almost making like a drum noise. Doesn't do that at all with the AWE foilers installed. And of course, both windows up, nothing. So let's actually try like the passenger side down. Here you can see what I'm talking about. Like right now, the passenger has 0 wind, but you as a driver do have a lot of the wind. So this is what's going to happen if you do it the other way around. But I mean, I wouldn't say that it helped. If you do have long hair, I would recommend like getting a coupe, taking up the windows, do something, or get a freaking tie like that. It's going to be rock and roll, right? No, I don't know. I wouldn't say that this actually, I'm not sure it helps. So I don't know if you could tell, but there wasn't really big of a difference. There is slight difference that you can actually hear in terms of the buffeting into the car. So I would still recommend getting them. But if you are a person with a very long hair and this is something that you think will help your sort of everyday driving of these cars, I'm sorry to say it wasn't that big of a deal. The hair still blown very similar to the way it did without the AWE airfoilers installed. But I still recommend doing that trick with like one window down if you want to go out driving by yourself, or if you have someone traveling along that has long hair. It helps a lot, and it does actually make the sort of the sound levels of the exhaust a little bit better while having less sort of wind traveling through the cabin. So if you see someone out there driving one window down, you think like, what's he up to? Now you know he's just found the trick, and it helps a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot. And don't forget, more content like this is coming to the 718. We're doing the exhaust install in just a couple of days. And we're also doing some modifications to the air intakes on this one. And some nice things are happening to the Macan as well. Next week we're doing a tune, and we're also doing an install of the new air filters and new air intakes from Flash 6 Motorsports. So don't miss that one. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and get out and drive. Bye.